So there I was chatting to my friend Mike from Night Ferry's YouTube channel when he said, "You know they had made Class 12 shunters, you know, the Bulleid designed ones." "No," I replied, and hurriedly clicked over to Model Rail Offers website, shown here, to be met with not one but 5 different Class 12s on offer. After thanking Mike for helping me deplete my wallet further, I set about deciding which of the attractive liveries I wanted, because I just had to have one, you know I did. I have to say the BR black livery very much appealed to me, but it was a bit bland maybe. As of course they were. However, I went for the later BR green livery with wasp stripes, and what swung it for me was the fact that it claimed to have working interior and exterior lights. Now that's going to be something to be seen for sure. The models are made for Model Rail by Heljan, and the order was fulfilled by Colonel. Hey, and welcome to my rather untidy workbench. Been very busy recently. So here we go. Here is the Model Rail Class 12. Let's have a look and see what we get. There's the manual. English Electric 350 horsepower twin motor. Sure they're referring to the prototype then. I can't believe we've got twin motors in the model. Now, that strikes me straight away. You have to remove the battery box to get to the body securing screw. So it's nothing like the 08s that we've seen from Hornby and Bachmann. So it'll be interesting to see how it performs. A little bit of history there. Alright, it is equipped with additional parts, so you have to fit them. I wonder what they are. It says about a horn. Well, it should be a whistle, so let's hopefully mean that. And then there's the specifications. Let's see what it actually looks like. I've accidentally done an unboxing video, haven't I? There's water pipes and things in the accessories. And yeah, there's a whistle there, that's alright, that's good. Gosh, it's quite heavy. A little bit of excess oil there, which I'll quickly deal with now actually. Get rid of that. No telling where it might get. But let's have a look at the model. Wow. She looks nice. No couplings or anything fitted at the moment. They're all in the bag. We've got some little packing pieces behind here to protect the steps. They are extremely fine. And of course there's the Bulleid wheels. Righto, we'll have a look much more closely in just a moment. Here we go, is your first close-up view. I took those packings out from behind the steps. The water pipes in the packet are only for where the front ladders are left off. The water pipes were added in so you didn't have to go up and fill it and be in danger of getting juiced up by overhead wires. But in a southern loco that wasn't too much of a problem, of course. Clearly see the Bulleid style wheels, it's fantastic. Her running qualities are not great just yet. I'm hoping with a bit of running in she'll be okay. But she just limps a little bit backwards. So I'll give her a good run in and see how she goes. Now the rear marker lights are quite dim, but they are on. And let's have a look into the cab. There is a full detailed desk in there. That's excellent to see. Right, let's try the magic wand. And on come the cab lights again. And then off they go. Detail fitting. So you've got to have the whistle, but then of course it sticks up right above the cab. So repacking, you'll have to be careful. Quite fiddly to get done. It is possible to fit the chain link couplings, and the loco does benefit from it, especially if you hook up the lower link on the hook. However, the sockets in the body were disappointingly sloppy, and so it was really hard, and you had to hold the couplings in place, waiting for the glue to dry. But you can do it, and it doesn't interfere with the tension lock couplings below. Same for the back. I fitted the chain link coupling and it sits nicely clear of the tension lock one below. Let's take her down to the railway and put her to work. It seems every region produced a version of the standard 060 diesel shunter based around the English Electric 6kT engine, before the Class 08 set the actual standard. The Bulleid locos were of course a development of Mausell's version from 1937. Photo you're seeing is by my friend Bill Marshall, taken at Eastleigh where two were stored. These two had been built around the English Electric 6kT 350 horsepower engine. 8 of the Class 12s had been authorised for building pre-World War II, but due to the outbreak of hostilities they were postponed until 1948, when not 8 but 26 were authorised. Due to the progress of time and forthcoming 1950s designed 08s, a very much standard design was adopted. Oliver Bulleid had managed to stay on with the southern region after 1948 and so was able to oversee his standard design. Firstly we see 15221 arriving with a goods train for Muchfordley Yard and onward travel. After running around her train, she places the brake van down into siding 3. These locomotives may have been Bulleid's version of Mausell's original design, but were significantly lighter. They featured Bulleid's distinctive Firth brown wheels and incorporated a number of details from the diesel-electric shunters produced by the London, Midland and Scottish Railway in 1936–39. They were built at BR Ashford Works over the period 1949 to 1952 and numbered 15211 to 15236. They later became Class 12, but no locomotive survived long enough to carry this TOPS designation. Now our loco returns to the train to remove all the tank wagons, a mix of Class B and A wagons with 2 open wagons acting as barrier wagons. These are placed on top of the brake van, ready for later. Now then, there's something out of place in this section of the train. Can you tell me what it is and why? Next, 15221 detaches one white insulated van and the milk tank and places them alongside the dairy in siding 2. Perhaps oddly, the Class 12s were not equipped with a train brake, being straight air only, which was odd as by the 1950s train brakes were becoming more common. This is where the driver can apply all connected brakes at the same time. It was further surprising as these locos were able to travel at 27.5 miles an hour and were envisaged for trip work in between yards. My friend Bob Cartwright, who worked on them, pointed out that these were later restricted to 20 miles per hour. Certainly the legible TOPS data plate on the model shows 20 miles an hour. This speed was attained by lower gearing, losing a little tractive effort, which was still a useful 24,600 pounds. whereas the later day 08s had £35,000 to play with. Last 15221 collects the 4 remaining vans and takes them to the goods shed. She then collects 3 loaded open wagons and draws them out of siding 1 and then attaches them to the tank wagons, before drawing the whole train out of the yard and heading off to her next destination. All 26 were initially divided between Hither Green and Norwood Junction. A series of trials in the 1950s would see one in the Bristol area and another in Scotland. They were of course Southern Region locomotives and could be found at all principal depots over time. Indeed, an allocation was sent to Eastleigh, St Philip's Marsh, Bristol, Basingstoke, Brighton, Bournemouth and Fratton. Initially, none of the 12s had marker lights, having lamp irons provided instead. They would later be given electric marker lights. The oversight of no train brakes was addressed on 3 of the class members, numbers 15 to 30, 31 and 32, in the late 1960s. While these locos lent themselves to easy maintenance, better than some others in fact, starting the engines required 2 people. One on the oil pressure pump in the engine bay and the other at the driving controls holding the lever in the start position. With the decline in wagon load freight in the mid to late 60s, along with many others, this class was becoming redundant, especially with no train brakes fitted. They were withdrawn as major failures occurred between 1968 and 1971. Thankfully, one survived in the Kent coalfields and is now preserved on the Spa Valley Railway. I found a good video of her in action on the Lavender line in 1992, and I'll put a link to this in this video's description box. So there you have it. A unique Southern Region 060 diesel shunter, designed by none other than Mr. Bulleid. Well done Model Rail for bringing these to us, and thanks again to Mike from Night Ferry for letting me know. Cheers for now.